Welcome to the Eureka Feasts kitchen. We've just been to the Ballarat Community Garden and picked some gorgeous artichokes, globe artichokes, a couple of different varieties. These are in season right now. Oh, that one's got a spider on it too. We'll just let him go back in there. They're in season in October and November in this region, and although they look a little intimidating, they're actually one of my absolute favourite vegetables. I've been asked so many times by people how you actually prepare them, so I thought I'd share it with you. Basically, you want to remove the tough leaves. I love parts of the stalk. It is really fibrous and quite tough, but I've found if you peel away some of the outside of the stalk, you'll actually find quite a nice little tender bit in the middle. Now I've already done one. Make sure you have on hand a bowl of water with lemon in it, because they will oxidize and brown quite quickly. They can also discolour your hands a little bit, so if you've got a special event and you don't want to have slightly brown blackish stains on your hands, probably a good idea to, well, I don't know, wear gloves or just be aware of the fact they may discolour your hands. They're incredibly easy to grow. I've sort of started filling just little spots in my garden with them, in between flowers and, you know, non-vegetable parts of the garden. And I think they're really, really worth giving a shot. Okay, so we've pulled off most of those sort of outer leaves. There are other ways of cooking them where you actually just stuff them whole and bake them. I haven't actually tried that yet. So what you're after is the heart of the artichoke. A lot of people would probably cut all of the leaves off, but I actually don't mind sort of having some of the leaf there, but they are tough, so you can't sort of get them off. Just keep pulling. Now I'll cut some of that stem off, but I do want to use the middle of that. Make sure you keep all the scraps, great for the compost. Now with the stem, I found the easiest way is just to use a peeler and cut or peel off that sort of tough outer. And you can braise them along with the actual hearts. You might find a little bit tough in some spots, but what is too tough to eat, just put aside on your plate. Now you're going to need a really sharp and sort of short, fairly tough paring knife for this. You do need to be careful because they are fairly tough, and one slip, especially with a knife as sharp as this. So you're basically just taking away all of the toughest parts of it. Now the inside of the artichoke is basically a small thistle type arrangement with the what you can see is the sort of what would become like the thistle sort of fluff that you see. So you don't want to eat that part, not nice. And some of the sort of inside bits of, especially if they're a slightly older artichoke, will actually be quite prickly and tough. Now I use a spoon to get the rest of the actual thistly bit out. And there you see it's starting to resemble something like what you get in the jars of preserved artichokes. So it's up to you how much of this you want to take out. I actually don't mind leaving some of those leaves in, but we might just cut that off today to show you that whole thing. This is the bit that you want to eat. Takes a bit of practice, but once you get the hang of it. I have actually preserved artichokes in the past, and yeah, it can be quite a long afternoon, but well worth it, especially if you've got them in your garden and there's a lot of them around. So into your acidulated water. And the way I'm going to cook these today is just to braise them. So I'm going to use garlic. Now this is elephant garlic or Russian garlic that is huge. That's 1 clove. And it's actually a bit more of a milder garlic. I really love it. That's from last season. So we're going to use that, just some good butter. These are Mayer lemons, so not so much zest on them, but absolutely beautiful juice. And we'll only take 15 minutes to braise those. Got a pork roast on the go, so hopefully it will all come together nicely. Now, the rumours that I have heard, and well, certainly is true in my experience, is that artichoke somehow, and I'm not sure what the chemical composition is that causes this to happen, but they do actually change your taste sensibility for the evening. So I've always heard never drink expensive wine with artichokes because it kind of makes everything you taste after you've eaten them quite sweet. So you can have a fairly cheap bottle of average red wine and it will actually somehow change the flavour of the wine. The younger that you can actually pick them, probably the better. They will be more tender, so I will actually remove those leaves. And just be careful because there's a few bugs and creepy crawlies coming out of these, so more spiders. So you definitely want to sort of make sure, I guess, that they've been removed. So as you can see, we've got quite a lot of excess material, but perfect to put in the compost. So going back in the garden, put it back into the artichoke patch. They do like a lot of fertiliser from what I understand, so yeah, they're heavy feeders, so you can give them plenty of nutrients. Now I'm just going to braise these. Garlic, butter, lemon juice, perfect. So basically once you've prepared your artichokes to that stage where you've just got the hearts, you can cook them however you like. What I'm going to do is just fry a little bit of garlic in butter and then put the artichokes in, just sort of lightly braise them a bit and then add a couple of cups of water. That's probably heaps of garlic. A couple of cups of water, and you can use chicken stock or just vegetable stock, just water. White wine, absolutely beautiful as well. They go really well with broad beans too, so if you do happen to have broad beans in season at the same time, I've got some that I've actually had frozen since last year. You can pop those in and do the artichokes and the broad beans together. Somehow they just sort of really match perfectly. And just 10-15 minutes, you'll know if you try and eat it and it's not cooked properly because it'll be really tough. So just try. Just give it a crack and you'll soon work out whether you haven't removed enough of the sort of, you know, tough outer leaves. You'll soon work out how you like them to be cooked. You can put them in casseroles. There's plenty of great recipes out there for the artichokes, but this way I'm going to do it as just a really sort of simple accompaniment to roast pork.